I'm Helen Watson. I'm a service user of the Carrick Centre. I come here all the time. I have small children, and so it's just a vital part of the community. I've moved from outside of Maybole when my first child was small and didn't have a big social network. So having the Carrick Centre has allowed me to really get to be part of the community, to make friends, and just to meet people. I've used various of the activities in the Carrick Centre, including the breastfeeding group. The Carrick Centre is always a place where children have their parties, so there's always a lot of children's parties where my children attend. I've used various exercise classes, and the cafes, and always it's a great place to meet friends. And soft play, you actually can sit down with your friends and have a cup of tea and a chat and let the children play. But also the soft play is a great place for when the weather's bad outside and the children can come and let off some steam. Not too expensive, so it's affordable. And it's right in the centre of the community, so it's a great place just to meet and feel part of the community, especially when you're coming in from outside the area. Can't recommend Carrick Centre highly enough. It's a fantastic place.
Well, my name's Alan Hamilton, and I have a Tai Chi Chuan class here at the Carrick Centre. Well, the Carrick Centre has been open, 3 years or so now, and it's been an absolute boon personally to me, the people that come here, and the town in general. In fact, it's been an enormous boon to the town, I would say. The facilities are absolutely incredible.
My name's Johnny Rusk. I'm Deputy Head Teacher of Carrick Academy in South Ayrshire. Our partnership working with the Carrick Centre here is, I think, one of the real strengths of the school and of the learning community that we have here. The centre offers us a wide range of opportunities. We celebrate success here at the Carrick Centre by having our annual prize giving in the month of June. It's an excellent venue for us. We also bring our S6 students here for their graduation ceremony in April, and we also have our senior school induction day here in June. So it's a terrific venue. It's a special building. It's a lovely looking building. So when we take our students and bring our pupils and parents here, they do feel as if they're coming somewhere special. As well as that, the centre offers us a regular work placements for our senior pupils who are doing the higher personal development course with work experience. That's part of our S56 curriculum, and pupils spend 2 afternoons a week on a work placement. Now, the Carrick Centre offers us placements in hospitality, in admin, in reception at the front of the house, as well as audiovisual and IT. And the pupils who work here on work experience, they're well supervised, and I know they get a great deal from that. And as well, of course, at the end, that results in a higher or Nat 5 personal development award. On top of that, South Ayrshire Council runs a workout scheme for pupils to spend 1 day a week in a work placement, and that runs throughout the year. Carrick Centre regularly takes pupils again in hospitality and admin 1 day a week, and they're supervised by staff here at the centre. So the centre is used heavily by the community, heavily by our students and by staff. We'll have head teachers meetings here, other staff and in-service meetings here at the centre. We work closely with the personnel here. We've good relations with staff at the Carrick Centre. In terms of supporting any local initiatives, we like to get involved and work with the centre. For example, the South Ayrshire Food Bank, which runs from the centre here, we get our pupils involved in collecting donations of food and so on for the food bank. And recently our pupils got involved in collecting clothes, blankets and so on for refugees fleeing Syria, and we managed to get a collection going for the Carrick Centre. So very good communication between ourselves, between the school and the Carrick Centre, good relations between staff, and I think that really means we are delivering a good service for the pupils of Carrick Academy and the wider community.
My name's Alison Wales and I'm a Community Learning Development Officer with South Ayrshire Council, and I work closely with the Carrick Centre through the North Carrick Learning Community Partnership. The staff and volunteers of the centre clearly see the benefits to the local community of working towards common goals and outcomes through a broad sweep of organisations and agencies where they share expertise, resources, accommodation and local intelligence. I think what makes the centre work is a combination of things. It's about dedicated and enthusiastic staff and volunteers in the centre, a strong partnership planning through the North Carrick Learning Community Partnership, but everybody genuinely has the interests of the local community at the heart of that.
I'm Lynn McGeechan and I'm an employability advisor for Access to Employment, and we're involved in the youth employment hubs run here at the Carrick Centre. And the youth employment hubs are run as a partnership between Access to Employment, Skills Development Scotland, Job Centre Plus and STEP, who work for South Ayrshire Council, and the Carrick Centre, who allow us to use this building. Their youth employment hubs are set up to offer an employability support to 16 to 19-year-olds in this area. And the benefits for that are that young people don't have to travel. They've got a service on their doorstep in an amazing building like this, and we have really good links with the staff in the Carrick Centre, and the Carrick Centre can also offer training opportunities for young people and work experience as well.
I think the key to the way the centre works is the special relationship between volunteers and staff. There's a large army of volunteers in comparison to the small number of staff that we have. And there's definitely a special feel about that. There's a synergy, I think, where acquaintances become friends and friends walk together in fellowship. It's a centre that has a great breadth and depth of community activities. You probably have had that in what you've been doing earlier on today. Not just leisure activities, but social activities through the food bank is an example of that. You're also already aware of the training that we do in the cafe. But from a church point of view, we hope to touch people in a different way from any other church does, because they come in here on a daily basis, many of them, and they find their need is filled. It's very difficult to describe. Working in the church is all about serving the community and serving those who need a hand. And I think that is very obvious when you come into this centre.
We've just made a renewed grant commitment, increased our grant commitment to the employability and training programme here at the Carrick Centre, because the Carrick Centre are working with young people that are struggling to gain employment or to succeed in achieving their ambitions in terms of education or training, and works with them to try and support them to achieve their aims. So it fits nicely with the youth opportunities strand. I think what we find particularly interesting about the Carrick Centre is that it's a community-run facility. It's in the community, run by the community, for the community. So when it's working with young people, it's not doing that in isolation, running a sort of discrete training program where people are getting on the bus and going to Ayr or whatever every day, but it's actually in the heart of the community, and the services that people are involved with while they're learning and while they're training are actually supporting local people, interacting with different groups within the community, and helping to meet a range of local needs, and also building relationships so that the trainees themselves are coming into contact with different people within the community, and those relationships can last and have benefit beyond the immediate focus of the training program. But I think one of the key features about the program here, which I think is valuable and is why it's successful, is the features are, I think it's relationship based, So the trainees, when they come in here, they form a relationship with the workers here, and there's really an effort to understand what it is that young people want to do. And I get the sense that there's trust built up between the trainee and the worker here who's supporting them in terms of the advice they're giving and the support that they're getting. So I think the relationship-based aspect is really important. The flexibility in terms of tailoring support around the needs of the individuals and the young people concerned is crucial. So it's not a one-size-fits-all program where they've sort of met some kind of criteria and this feels like the product we can offer you. It's much more based on the needs of the young person and tailoring a package of support, volunteer experience, whatever, to their particular needs. And thirdly, it's not time limited, it's ongoing, so people are supported to develop at their own pace, and the project and the workers here will take time to support people to move on when they're ready to. It's not a 8-week program and then you're kind of left to get, to find your own way again. So I think those three things are critical. To be honest, I think those three things underpin successful programs across all kinds of social and public service. And where they are delivered in a community setting, I think the outcomes are much more sustainable and much stronger. So the fact that that's happening here for young people in our neck of the woods was the reason we got involved.
Carrick Centre's become absolutely vital in this sprawling rural community, where unemployment in 18 to 25-year-olds is above the national averages, and social isolation has been highlighted as a problem in the area. I think the Carrick Centre works because it's welcoming and bright, and I think the community has really got behind it and helped it to become the heart of the community and a place where everyone feels welcome and everyone's got a place.
Looking back over the years, as I've said, we're going into our 4th year. When we originally started, there were 3 of us working out of a cold, frozen office down in the Vennel. And I was fairly new to the community, hadn't really knew of the place, but not of the people. And very quickly it was evident that it was the people, the church, the volunteers that were driving this project, that there were individuals there that had a passion and really wanted to see it work. One of those was Alan Murray, who really was an important part and has got us to where we are. Karen, again, who's not with us today, but again, the 3 of us had an idea and were given a clear vision of where we were to go. But it's the volunteers and the people that have come on board over the period that have developed. We sit with now a cafe thriving, a children's soft play. Although quiet today, generally the noise is endless. And the volunteers come on board and help us to develop the product. So whether it be our lets, you may be aware we've started now an early years project. It's Garden Rose nursery that started 2 weeks ago. That has had an impact on the room availability, but both our lets, the volunteers and the people that use the centre on a regular basis realise the benefit of this product and to the community as well as the centre, and are willing to support it and will acknowledge that they maybe don't have the flexibility they've had before, but because it's benefiting the centre and utilising the space more, will allow it to flourish. And that's great. The volunteers, they'll come in daily. They will really guide any of the youngsters that come in. We have 6 youngsters in today with varying needs. Some of them need really one-to-one buddy system to allow them to grow and feel comfortable in the environment. And if it wasn't for the volunteers, willing to come on board and help us to do that, caring for the project, realising that that's what the Carrick Centre was about, that we were here to develop the community, to help the community, to provide services within the community, whether it be the food bank, the nursery, or the rainbows on a Tuesday evening. All of these services the centre was purpose built for. So the volunteers, our staff, the team that have come on board, which has grown quite dramatically, I would say, in the last year, allows us to come in day after day and add to the services. It's exciting. Say the next year, 2-3 years, another challenge. We've had to relook at the business, how it services, how it works within the community, and if actually it's functioning to its maximum ability. We've not always done things right. You know, there have been some hiccups along the way, but that's all part and parcel. It was a brand new building. When we were at the Venel, all we saw was stone. There was nothing. The glue lamps started coming up, which are the arcs that hold the building together. And they are actually like the individuals that work within the centre. Each of the layers of the glue lamp are stuck together. The volunteers, the staff. You've had one of our trainees today, Ashley, who really bounced into the centre and bounced back out and brought just life with her. And these pieces all come together to give us the Carrick Centre. We're very, very lucky.
It's not possible to talk about the Carrick Centre without also mentioning the late Alan Murray, who was so instrumental in the success story of the Carrick Centre. Alan was a valued colleague and even more valued friend. He joined us prior to the construction phase of the building, and so was able to make a contribution at an early stage in our evolution. He secured the funding that we needed to set up and operate an advance office in the school Venel here in Maybole, and we occupied that building for over a year while our main building was being constructed. During that time, we recruited the future centre manager, Andrea Hutchison, and our administrator, Karen Mitchell, both very fortuitous appointments. During that time, we also made all sorts of contacts through Alan. We set up funders, we set up customers, so that when we eventually moved into our new premises, the Maybole Parish Church and the Carrick Centre, at the beginning of 2012, we were able to hit the ground running. Alan then procured the funding necessary to equip the centre and to pay wages and staff for the start-up time while we established the cafe as our main source of income, along with the children's soft play. Under Alan's leadership, the centre has burgeoned to become, if you like, the hub of community life here in Maybole and District. We have currently over 100 different groups using the premises throughout the year. And of course, we have the cafe and soft play, which was a much needed facility in the town. Alan also set up a youth programme whereby we do hospitality training for young people at a distance from the workplace, and we also have a youth programme training the youth in the use of media. Alan served the community all of his life, both in his professional career and as a counsellor. He did a lot of work with young people, which was his main interest in life, was working with young people. He brought to the centre an uncommon wealth of experience and contacts which would never have been accessible to us other than through his good self. At a personal level, Alan had a mischievous sense of humour, which we all enjoyed. He was also a very fine singer, a lovely mellow baritone voice, and a very accomplished public speaker. His forte was in Burns events, and he had a great interest in the work of his fellow Ayrshire man, the Bard of Scotland. But Alan could turn his talents to any event and any situation. When he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, he faced this with absolutely amazing fortitude, and his ready and disarming smile remained with him right to the very end. I miss him greatly, as do the staff and volunteers here at the centre. The whole community and the staff and volunteers owe him a debt of lasting gratitude. Of one thing I am very certain, and that is that we will not see his like again.